The ECB, the European Central Bank, just dropped a bombshell, and we are going to be addressing it, talking about it, and ultimately connecting the dots because it seems as though Ripple, and more specifically, the XRP ledger and XRP could be playing a vital role behind the scenes. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. Here we have MiCA, or more specifically, Markets in Crypto Assets Regulation, that is going to be rolling out by the end of this year, going off of their timeline. Now, this is definitely going to be a big movement, and remember what I've always, really kind of mentioned or even talked about when it comes to Europe. Everything starts in Europe, specifically around regulations and even the advancement of technology. We know right now, currently outside of MiCA, because this is basically like the first major crypto regulatory movement, we also know that right now, Europe just approved and passed the world's first major act to regulate AI as well. And we can actually see here, this happened back in March. Let's be honest, it's very easy to take positions in crypto, but it's extremely hard to actually have a game plan in place when the time comes to take profits. And that's exactly why I released a completely free exit plan that you can apply to literally every single position that you take in crypto. And the best part about it is that it's completely free. All you have to do to get access is go to the link down in the description below and claim your access now. What are you waiting for? Capture those profits. The European Union's Parliament on Wednesday approved the world's first major set of regulatory ground rules to govern the mediatized artificial intelligence at the forefront of tech investment. Born in 2021, the EU AI Act divides the technology into categories of risk ranging from unacceptable, which would see the technology banned, to high, medium, and low hazard. The regulation is expected to enter into the force at the end of the legislature in May, after passing final checks and receiving endorsement from the European Council. Now, again, all of this is basically aligning perfectly with what Europe is planning, and it seems as though this is all tied together. With crypto, AI, we know for AI to be massively adopted, it does need blockchain tech. I've talked about it on multiple occasions. Blockchain is basically like the secret key to unlocking AI, and that's why we are starting to see everything happening around Europe in a big way. This is going to lead to all other nations getting in line as well, even, the UK, the US, and so forth. Now, also, we know back in April that Ripple did announce the Markets in Crypto Assets Regulation takes effect this year in the EU and will usher in a new era for regulatory clarity, providing guidance for stablecoin issuers, custody of digital assets, licensing, compliance, and more. Now, we also know that Ripple is becoming a stablecoin issuer. We know that they're at the forefront of custody services for digital assets, and we also know that they have been very compliant for the longest time, and they have been ahead of the regulatory movement, even within the EU. So very, very interesting. Now, with this in mind, let's also go over here to this post, which I did include in a recent video, and this is actually from Smoke Dog. Remember that Ripple was one of the major names to actually comment on MiCA and give some guidance regarding these regulations. We have Ripple MiCA June 2024. Here we have introduction. These are the 7 names that were able to actually comment: MoonPay, Gemini, Kraken, Matheson, Coinbase, Ripple, Electric Money Association. And we can see that it's going to take effect in Ireland in June 30th, 2024. So we're pretty much, just a couple of days away from that. And this is really going to set the pace. Now, talking about Ireland, we do know that Ripple has been working with the Central Bank of Ireland for a while. They even got a major license from them. So again, like I said, the stage is set for Ripple to really kind of become a big part of the EU in a large way around digitalization, tokenization, and so forth. Now, building upon this from Smoke Dog, we also have this going back to March, which is mainstream adoption of digital market infrastructure, Euroclear, DLT pilot regime, etc., all signal an upward trajectory of digital market infrastructure becoming a reality in the mainstream. Now, yes, it's all about infrastructure. I've talked about it on multiple occasions. The infrastructure is so key. Now, this is discussing the DLT pilot regime, or it's basically like a sandbox, right? But this is a big focus for me because we do know that Ripple is tied back to this. We also know that the UK is a part of this in a big way. And if we actually go over here, we could see, yes, an XRP ledger based tech layer for the EU DLT pilot regime is being regulated under new legislation with a secondary market for tokenized securities equals the AMM, the automated market maker, and can be integrated with regulated settlement coins through Mika. Remember, only Ripple met with Mika. And here you have what distributed financial market infrastructure. Axiology is the XRP ledger-based technological layer for DLT transaction settlement system, DLT TSS, a new regulated institution type under EU DLT pilot regime regulation. And here you have the full breakdown of all regarding securities. Go back to the DTCC. They're settling now it's actually up to $3 quadrillion worth of securities transactions in a single year. And this is all based around tokenized securities, specifically even creating a regulated fractionalization market of tokenized securities and a secondary market for tokenized securities on the AMM. This is an absolute monster of an insight on what is brewing behind the scenes. But also we have integration of regulated settlement coins, Mika stablecoins, and CBDCs. We also know that Ripple stablecoin is going to be within the regulatory scope of Mika. It's going to be compliant with Mika. Again, another sort of hint there. Now, also over here in terms of Axiology, your plans for the summer, we at Axiology DLT will be busy testing digital euro and how it can facilitate settlement process of tokenized securities, DLT, CBDC, tokenization. This is all based upon the XRP ledger. And also, Anthony Welfare, this is an employee at Ripple, actually. Great to see that Axiology DLT has been approved for the digital euro testing program as a market DLT operator and is the only DLT market operator running on the XRP ledger. They will conduct their test with a number of European central banks, members of the ECB. Axiology is developing the tokenized bond lifecycle with central bank money settlement use case. See the list below with other participants. This is a very exciting step forward for the amazing team at Axiology DLT and SuperHow. And you know what's funny about this? Look at the list of participating members here. So let me zoom in real quick. This is all around the European Central Bank Euro system, and these are the names. And you can see market participant and market DLT operator and a central bank DLT operator. Look at these names. You have Clearstream on here, BNP Paribas, DECA Bank, Deutsche Bank, DZ Bank, JP Morgan's on here, Eurex Clearing, European Investment Bank, and the list just goes on and on and on. Here you have Axiology, for an example, under market DLT operator. You have a few other ones on here as well, but we just really kind of put a spotlight on Axiology because it ties back to the XRP ledger. But there is so many big banks on here, HSBC, which can directly be connected back to Ripple through Medico. But there is so many names on here, and they're all major banks, all massive players around the banking space. And it's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me that people are still looking at these types of documents and looking at these types of, pilots and saying like, oh, well, Ripple and XRP, like whatever, forget about it. I don't care. Like, no, like we need to put a spotlight on this because of how big this could very well morph into. Now, also check this out from subjective views. We have Ripple XRP community. Ladies and gentlemen, James Wallace of Ripple. This year's Digital Euro Conference, December 2024, gathered fintech experts, policymakers, and global industry leaders. The event featured discussions, presentations, and panel sessions on CBDCs, stablecoins, and commercial bank money tokens. Key speakers and sponsors included Ripple, Circle, UDPN, European Commission, Central Bank of Bahamas, Banque de France, Onyx by JP Morgan, Societe Generale, Digital Pound Foundation, SDX, Deutsche Bank, BIS, the IMF, Santander Bank, Moody's, Ernst & Young, Deloitte, Goldman Sachs, Lloyds Bank, Hyperledger Foundation, and SAP. And you know what's funny about this? Guys, beyond Ripple, there is no name on here outside of Circle that is tied back directly to crypto. Ripple is the only name on here also tied into a public DLT. Absolutely wild to me. But check this out.
Therefore, what is your view on what could be a commercial model for CBDC? Is there one? As we heard, it must be offered for free. And also in the rulebook discussion and other discussions in the design principles, there are certain incentivation. So what is your view from bank perspective or other perspective on what could be a commercial model for retail CBDC, or is there one?
I'll have a crack at it. I think just to preface that, I think there's a fundamental question really, which is, what's the role of the central bank? And if it's to say the same as it is, right, in this central bank money is, reserves and cash, right? So a lot of central banks are looking at this as, it's just replacing and improving that, right? As I said before, I don't think that's really the right answer. I think the longer people study and the more complicated they make it, the more expensive it's going to be. So I would encourage speed over total precision, right? And I think I still believe this blend of public-private is the answer, right? I think the central bank should do what they need to do at a reasonable cost and not burden everyone else with that cost. And then, the innovation and the competition will come from the private sector, right? So some will offer a bare minimum, say, okay, well, you can put your CBDC in my name the bank wallet, right? Or they'll say, okay, I'm going to offer all these other services in competition with my other banks, right? So I don't know where the commercial answer will be, but I think given that it's pretty much inevitable that there will be some form of public digital money, it's just get over that, right? Just assume that's going to happen, make the central banks do it in a reasonably cost-effective way, and then just have at it in the open market and see what happens. I think there'll be winners and losers, right? And that's what makes people nervous, because they think, maybe I'll be a loser, right? Well, okay, why don't you just think like a winner, and then maybe you'll be successful.
And you know what's funny about these conversations? It's the fact that, look at these names that are just stacked up on and at these major, conferences and meetings. To me personally, it's something very special. It's something very interesting when you look at these names and you look at what they're pushing. If you go to the BIS, you go to the IMF, they're pushing digital, and it's all around money, right? How money is changing, infrastructure, changing the way that money is moving. And this is all through DLT. And guess what just happened? The ECB put out a full report summarizing their progress on the digital euro project since the preparation phase started on November 1st of last year. And we have down here that a digital euro would provide an all-in-one digital payment solution that is accessible to all. Should it be issued, it would make our payments market more innovative, resilient, and less dependent on non-European schemes. Over here, we have the preparation phase timeline. So we could see Q4 of 2023 is when this really started to set up the preparation phase, publication of ECB legal opinion, and then we have Q2 of this year. This is calibration of holding limits. We have Q4 of this year, evaluation and negotiation of procurement offers, stable draft of rulebook, detail, out, piloting, and rollout approach. Then Q2 of 2025 is finalize architecture, data protection impact, assessment, positioning, and outreach plan. And then all the way through all the way through 2024, we have down here rule books, call for applications, data requirements, procurement documentation, user research. Then we have 2025, selection of providers, procurement, initiate, draft rulebook consultation. And then 2025, Q3 is rulebook finalization, preparation of governing council decisions. So at that point, it seems as though this is going to take a little bit of time, but they're kind of setting the stage for a digital euro to be launched somewhere around 2026 into 2027. And we could see some of the major banks that will be tied to this. We have the Federal Reserve System, the Bank of England, the Reserve Bank of India, and even, other major banks around the world that will definitely, in my opinion, also be operating through a digital euro. But outside of this, right, we still see those application programming interfaces, APIs, being mentioned. Again, I've talked about those APIs. I've talked about how that is setting the stage for DLTs to be tapped in through something like Quant Network, because Project Rosalind with the BIS already gave us a breakdown of how those API platforms would work, how we can connect the old systems to the new systems, aka the traditional systems to the DLT systems. And Over here we have from Christine Lagarde herself, we've made significant progress towards ensuring that we are ready to issue out a digital euro in the future if needed. We look forward to continuing the democratic debate with European legislators on bringing public money to the digital landscape to complement physical cash. Again, these things are happening in a very large way, and the last two videos here are really kind of highlighting that from subjective views. We have the digital euro is a national or a natural evolution of central bank money, and it will not be programmable. And this is the program director for the digital euro at the ECB. Check this out.
What does it mean when they talk about programmable money?
Yes. Well, the digital euro is not programmable money. So let's be very clear. Programmable money would be that you would, I would give you a euro, and you can only spend it on shoes. And then you give it to your daughter to buy shoes, and she gives it to somebody else. But this euro can only be used to buy shoes. That would be programmable money. We would never do that. It would be like issuing vouchers. So we would not do this. What we are thinking about is programmable payments. But that would be something else. That would be saying, okay, if it's the first of the month, I want to do a payment. Or when these goods are delivered to my house, only then I want to do the payment. That's programmable payments. But the money stays unchanged, and the digital euro will be unchanged. It will be always a euro.
What inspired the ECB to take on this project? It's a pretty bold ambition.
Yes, well, we are not the only central bank. More than 90% of the central banks in the world are exploring and even implementing digital currency, so we're not alone. But I think the most important thing is, as I said before, currently we have two types of money. So you can choose to either have cash, which is central bank money, or you put your money at the bank and the bank allows you to do payments. We think that central bank money needs to evolve like any other thing. So we have had like coins and how do you call it, notes, banknotes, for ages now. But the world has gone digital, so why would cash not go digital as well? So for us, this is a natural evolution of central bank money.
Got it. Can you ever envision a day when there's a global digital currency?
I don't think there will be one global digital currency, but I do believe there will be multiple digital currencies. So that's also why we work on interoperability between the digital currencies.
And she's 100% correct, right? There's not just going to be a one world global digital currency. It's going to be multiple digital currencies, aka CBDCs. I've talked about this on multiple occasions. You'll need a bridge currency there at all times. At all times. These things will need to be bridged. And I've talked about this so many times on this channel. Now, last but not least, this is a 49-second long clip. ECB's first digital euro report unveils cash-like privacy for online and offline payments. The ECB has published its first progress report on the digital euro, highlighting significant advancements in the project since its launch in November of 2023. Key developments include high privacy standards for both online and offline transactions designed to offer cash-like anonymity, and the introduction of holding limits to ensure financial stability. This project aligns with the ECB's goal of modernizing the Eurozone's financial infrastructure, ensuring robust and user-friendly digital payments for the future. And check this out.
First of all, I think we currently have cash. And as you know, we use cash less and less. You are here in Amsterdam, and only 1 in 5 transactions is done by cash, and all the other transactions we do digitally. And you see this happening also all over Europe. So you can say making sure that there is also digital cash is a normal evolution that we need to consider. We have thought of banknotes, we have coins a long time ago, and now there's digital means of payment. So it's also logic that we evolve the central bank money cash into a digital form as well, to go alongside with cash. So not to replace cash, but to have an alternative option also in the digital space. First of all,
And, you know, this really is starting to become the evolution of our entire financial system. We know that cash is going to be replaced. We know that anything that is paper-based is going to move towards digital, and cash is going to follow it as well. I mean, think about it logically. We can't have everything around us go digital while cash remains the same. That's why everything is changing right now. Everything is pushing towards the digitalization of everything. And regardless of if we want to accept it or not, it's happening. And this is why I say, like, you know, you're either focused on this and paying attention to it and benefiting from it, or you are going to miss out on one of the largest technological advancements that we have the opportunity to be invested in our entire history. And this is not going to happen again for well over 100 plus years. So getting behind this now is crucial. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, so notifications on it because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.